fewer people than I expected. Let's find Asher.
Asher?
The Viper. He prefers to be called Asher in private. Said I could tell you.
Trouble in the Anvalanim. Darkspawn.
But those tunnels are safe passage for...
I know. We've had to close that entrance.
We can help. We recently had to deal with Blight. Those Darkspawn have to be destroyed before they get out into the city.
If you get through, signal the all clear at the hidden door.
This is troubling. Darkspawn in the city.
And in one of the worst places. The Shadows rely on those tunnels to rescue people.
I'm Hector. I watch the front. Make sure things are quiet.
Rook.
Good to meet you. Be careful out there.
The Anvalanim should have an entrance this way. The passage is hidden by a wall carving. Keep an eye out. Venatori. But they're so close to the shop. Stop! Count your chance!
There. Is that the wall carving you mentioned?
That's the one. There's a switch behind the serpent's head on the left.
Got it.
Like the ossuary, but without the view.
Don't like the sound of that. That did it. We can get through now.
Let's kill those Shadow Dragon rats, so I can leave this place.
Company, get ready.
Shadow Dragon agents. Head downhill. With us. Get them.
Reinforcements. We can't let them reach the Shadow Dragon hideout. More Venatori. We have to take out the leaders.
That's one for Rook.
should speed things up. Of course.
I feel
Under fire! Watch it! Stay in cover.
we are fighting our monsters.
Just say when. Take this shot.
I'm ready. Those Darkspawn and Venatori were on this. Same side.
I know. And that worries me. At least that seems to be the last of them.
It should be safe for the shadows to use the entrance again.
Let's find it and tell them to open up.
A sealed pall crafted to contain a specific, powerful Venatori Magister. The Shadow Dragons haven't revealed, or perhaps decided on, the Magister, and so all are afraid instead of one.
There it is, the hidden entrance back into the shop.
It's Rook. All clear down here.
Nice work. I'll get the door. Good that you're still standing. Best let Asher know.
How did the Venatori find the Shadow Dragon's hideout? Isn't it a secret?
We help the people in Docktown. They know where we are. Someone might have talked about the shop. People spreading rumors, that's easy to handle. But Darkspawn, that's different.
You really saved our skins there, Rook. Those Darkspawn could have destroyed us.
It wasn't just Darkspawn. Venatori were there too, and they weren't fighting each other.
How is that possible? Darkspawn attack all living things.
Darkspawn are blighted. If the gods control the Blight, they might control the Darkspawn.
Let's not jump to conclusions before we have more answers.
If you're looking for answers about the Venatori, I may have a lead. A warehouse on the other side of the city. Lots of cult activity. And some of them were spotted headed towards a shop. Could be a coincidence, or it could be something more.
It's worth a look.
Agreed. Rook?
Let's go. The Viper, or Asher, I suppose. Is he the leader of the Shadow Dragons?
One of them. He made his name freeing slaves and supporting their rebellions. He won't stop until slavery ends in Tevinter.
So, the Viper's real name is Asher?
A middle name. He calls himself Viper for first impressions, or so he says.
What do you mean?
Asher just doesn't have the same impact, does it?
Venatori, we're close. Lord Venatori, guards, probably.
before more of them come crawling out. Someone's mad about their fellow Venatori leaving the rooftop passage open.
Let's in both drafts and people. Yes?
Lots of Venatori. Must be close.
Defiance is everything!
That's all the Venatori guarding the place. Someone conveniently left the rooftop entrance open again.
Great. The Venatori are up to something. Time to break it up. They're summoning Darkspawn.
How?
We stop them? They're using magic to control that Darkspawn. We have to stop it.
Why would anyone even want Darkspawn? They're at range! We need to close it.
Got it.
That's all of the Darkspawn and Venatori. Let's search the place and figure out what they were doing.
Knight Commander Lenos, we are blessed indeed to have such a loyal friend in you. Continue to serve us and you will be richly rewarded. For the glory of Tevinter Reborn.
This note. Knight Commander Lenos of the Minathrous Templars is being paid off by Venatori.
Damn it.
Shadow dragons are watching us. Do not let them get close. The exact location of their hideout is unknown, but they use the catacombs. Send Darkspawn to root them out.
This explains the Darkspawn we keep finding in the catacombs.
At least they don't know where the shadow dragons are. Exactly.
Look at this. Draining into the tunnels below the city, perhaps.
One more way, the Venatori released Blight into our tunnels. I'll tell the other shadows.
Elgernad has blessed us with ancient knowledge. The relic lets us control Darkspawn through their blighted blood. Use it to destroy our enemies. In his name.
The gods gave the Venatori a relic they can use to control Darkspawn.
Hey, Rook. Is everything all right in there? Rook, I thought I'd see if you needed help. Did you find anything in there?
The risen gods taught the Venatori how to control Darkspawn. Explains why the hideout was attacked.
We found documents from the Knight Commander. I knew he was crooked. I didn't think he was actually a Venatori.
Let's head back to the shop. We'll discuss things there.
We managed to catch the stragglers fleeing the warehouse.
They'll think twice before coming back here. What else did you find?
The Venatori serve Elganan and Gillenane like we thought. They gave the cult control over Darkspawn.
Great. Sounds like the Venatori are going to be even more trouble.
We can handle anything the Venatori throw at us.
How do we know we can even trust you? You're not from here. You don't know Minathrous like we do. And we know as little about you as we do these risen gods you unleashed.
Now, what is it they say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The cult has its hooks deep in the city. Venatori backers sit in the magisterium chambers, and now they wield power given to them by the gods. We'll have to get along if there's any chance of surviving this.
May, what are you doing here? You promised you'd lay low.
Tried it, didn't much care for it.
Who are you? And can we trust you?
Look at that. There are bounds to my infamy after all. Refreshing.
Rook's been working with us. Mevaris is one of the Shadow Dragon leaders.
Mevaris Talani, formerly Magister Mevaris Talani, at your service.
Wait, formally?
My enemies conspired to have my magisterium seat stripped from me. We can talk about it later, if you want. My concerns feel petty when stacked against risen gods. The Shadow Dragons have a lot to discuss, but you, Rook, are expected at the Swan.
Me? The Cobbled Swan, why?
The First Warden is here to speak with you.
The First Warden? Let's hope we actually get some help with the Blight.
Come back when you can. I think we'll need your help again.
The Venatori serve the risen god. who have given the cultists magic that grants them control over Darkspawn. The cult's influence and power spreads, which means trouble for Minathrous and the world beyond.
That warehouse the Venatori were in. Traders used it before. I remember Ferelden first stored waist high 5 years back.
Spotted any more Darkspawn?
Not close to the shop, but we're keeping alert. We haven't seen the end of them.
How did you join the Shadow Dragons?
Helped make the Templars look the other way when there was a slave rebellion going down. Turned out that the Viper was helping. He brought me on.
That Venatori stunt with the Darkspawn has me dreading what's to come.
You and me both.
In peace, vigilance. The Grey Wardens are an ancient military force sworn to fight Darkspawn and the Blight. The team must convince the Wardens that not only is a new Blight coming, but the Elven Gods make this one more dangerous than any in the history of Thedas. Do I remember a time when candlehops didn't run messages through the city? Such remarkable magical constructs. They seemed to have no particular allegiance to the palace and absolutely none to the Venatori. In fact, they appeared to actively avoid the cult. I even saw one burn their pamphlets. Where do they come from? And is it just me? Or have there been more candlehops around lately?
Help from the Grey Wardens?
I imagine the Grey Warden
Talk to Lorelei. She's the boss.
See you again.
So, you're not sure you can trust me, but it was your idea to hire me.
I made the suggestion. Rook made the call. Why? Are you worried I have ulterior motives? That I planted the idea of Rook's head for my own ends?
That wasn't where this was going.
Really? Because I'd have questions. A Tevinter mage breaks a demon-possessed assassin out of prison. What's her angle?
Mierda. And people say I'm overly suspicious.
I am Jowin Glastrom, First Warden and Supreme Commander of Weishaupt. I received word of your team's request for Grey Warden assistance after an incursion of the Blight at Demeter's Crossing. How does a Morn Watcher come to be involved with the Blight in Arlathan? And not just any Watcher, but a controversial figure after what you pulled during that undead rebellion.
My decisions regarding our noble dead are hardly relevant here.
Very well. Then I'd like to hear how a Navaran necromancer unleashed the Blight.
I was stopping an elven god from bringing down the Veil and destroying the world.
An elven god?
Fenharel, the Dreadwolf. He goes by Solus. He's got a lot of names.
I did not come here to listen to fairy tales. I am here because of the Blight.
We haven't even gotten to the real fairy tale parts yet. When we stopped Solus, 2 elven gods escaped from where he'd imprisoned them. Elganan and Gillenane. And they're not just evil, they're blighted. The point is that the gods are making the Blight worse. Demeter's Crossing was just the start. That's why we need the Grey Wardens.
I suspected more politicking from the remnants of the Inquisition. I see now that I was wrong.
I'm really glad to hear that.
It is clear that whatever you did to unleash the Blight has corrupted your already weak mind.
Okay, wait.
You will be taken to Weishaupt and placed under heavy guard until the danger you caused by unleashing the Blight passes.
No, please, you can't do that.
I assure you, I can.
I don't know how much time we have. The gods are doing something with the Blight. We need to stop them.
Let me tell you something about the Blight. It is evil, it is implacable, and above all, it is predictable. The Blight has not changed in over 1,000 years. The Grey Wardens will defeat it, as they always do. And we will do so without you causing confusion with your deranged conspiracy theories. I suggest you come along quietly.
Adamant Fortress 941, Dragon. The Grey Wardens attempted to raise an army of demons. Hardly the models of good judgment yourselves, are you?
Everyone knows Warden Commander Clarel acted alone at Adamant Fortress.
Acted alone, you say? Imagine if everyone were to see the letter I discovered where you authorize her actions. I wonder how that might complicate the narrative.
Are you prepared to risk the security of the Grey Wardens for this deluded boy?
You may be surprised to learn that I care very little about the security of the Grey Wardens.
Stay away from the Blight, and do not pester the Grey Wardens with any more of your nonsense.
He seems upset. Was it something I said?
I gotta chime in that I am so excited to see Dorian. Like, completely did not expect to see this guy showing up, at least in this fashion.
That was close. Wasn't looking forward to being dragged off to a Grey Warden dungeon. Who should I be thanking for the assist?
Magister Dorian Parvis, at your service. A mutual friend thought you might require some support.
Mevaris Talani? Of the Shadow Dragons?
The very same.
What's your relation to the Shadow Dragons?
About a decade ago, Mevaris and I started a political faction called the Lucerni. We were going to change Tevinter for the better. Everyone would recognize the common sense benefits of our approach, and we'd all live happily ever after.
I take it that didn't happen.
Mevaris was framed, kicked out of the Magisterium, and the Lucerni were dissolved. So she took the movement underground.
The Shadow Dragons.
Since I still haunt the Magisterium, that makes me the Shadow Dragon's man on the inside.
The First Warden's a problem. If he won't help, I need him to stay out of my way.
I'm sure he'll show up again. Like an ulcer. For now, pay him no mind. No Grey Warden worth the name sits in a Minathrous lounge sipping wine. You need the Wardens? Look for the ones out there fighting the Blight. In the meantime, the Shadow Dragons will keep a close watch on the Venatori. Good luck. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon.
Only the veil stood between us and a world of blighted darkness. But on this side, the gods could only tap a trickle. They had to turn that trickle into a flood. They sure could have used Solus's dagger to rip open the Fade. But some foolish mortal had taken it. So, they'd have to create a dagger of their own. Drowning the world in blight was just a matter of time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So far, this plot is making me get a lot of Tyranid, Third kind of vibes. Ooh.
I need to talk to them.
Oh, the Grey Wardens. Every Warden's journey. There's the joining and the calling, the beginning and the end. Every Grey Warden gets the first. They drink the potion of archdemon blood, laced with more magic than they know. If they survive, they'll sense the Darkspawn, hear the Blight's song. The Blight itself won't hurt so much. They'll be forever changed. I was forever changed. Not everyone survives the joining. They end at the beginning. Others end in battle. They're killed by Darkspawn, or maybe some other monster kills them. We go to sunless and forsaken places. We fight what would devour Thetis, and we don't always return. I've survived all those battles myself. It makes me no better than anyone else. Finally, there's the calling. And that is the end, no matter how far you've come. After the joining, the Blight won't hurt so much, but it's still inside you, and in the end, it still wins out. The Blight's song, the one you can only hear because you're a Warden, starts to change. It starts to call you. At first you can ignore it, and then one day you can't, because you're changing. At first, you can't see it, but then you can. In the veins in your arms, the circles under your eyes. So you leave. You find the biggest batch of Darkspawn you can, and you take down as many as you can before the Blight takes you. You leave the world a little safer. The other Wardens will tell you that you'll know when the time comes, that you'll be certain when it's real, but they haven't heard the calling yet, and you wonder if it's really true, if you'll really know. You will. I do. I've got my spot in the deep roads picked out. Take care of yourself. Yep, seeing as we're digging up Grey Warden lore, I feel like it would be respectful to point out that my Grey Warden from the first game was a warrior that I built into a tank and focused very heavily on diplomacy. And I did have Logain join the ranks, which cost me Alistair, because rather than let petty grievances distract me from the greater threats, I figured Logain joining the Wardens and then sacrificing himself to kill the Archdemon was punishment enough for his crimes. He goes down as a hero, but he also dies. That was my reasoning.
Eric.
Update on Gus. Dear Rook, thank you again for figuring out what happened to Tainor and Oros. Gus is adjusting to life without them, I think. Eating well, and me and the other Veil Jumpers play with him when we can. He still screams if I try to remove Oros' old backpack from his hutch. You ever heard a Nug scream? It's bone-chilling. Things have been terrible lately. Having Gus around helps me get through it. He really does put a smile on everyone's face. Thank you again for bringing him home. Also wanted to point out, in case anybody was unobservant like myself, when I picked up that missive about the candle hops, these dudes on the right, these are candle hops. Because after I reloaded my game from the crash, I was able to interact with it. So, unfortunately, I missed that.
There you are. I haven't seen much of you lately. I was getting worried. Everything all right? Wait, that dagger. I've seen it before.
Solus was using it at the ritual site.
No, before that. Shit, it can't be. Look at it, Rook.
I have. Plenty, ever since it hurt Harding.
Remember that story I told you about me and Hawk, Meredith and Orsino? How the trouble started in Kirkwall? On our expedition to the Deep Roads, that's what we found. That's what my brother tried to kill us for. An idol made of red lyrium. That sang a song which drove anyone who heard it mad.
Are you sure it's the same thing?
Oh, look at it. It's changed, but it's the same size. Same ring at the top. Not to mention, it's pure lyrium. No one, not even the dwarves in Orzammar, work pure lyrium like that. It's too dangerous.
If that's true, if this dagger is the red lyrium idol from your story, how did Solus cleanse it of the Blight?
I have no idea. I can't believe you found it.
Oh, hey, Rook. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No. Something wrong?
Things are weird, but I'm adjusting, I think. That's not what I came in here for, though.
All right, Harding. What's on your mind?
So, the Wardens. I know some. A married couple Varric and I met while we were tracking Solus.
I'd almost forgot about that. I really am getting too old for this shit.
You think they'll talk to us? After the first Warden and everything?
It's worth a try. I can write them and hope.
Okay. Let's see who's in our corner.
Normally, my advice on befriending abominations would be don't. In this case, just keep an eye on him.